With speed over, Stamkos closing in. His pass. The shot was blocked. It came right to Stamkos, and he scores! 45 seconds in, Stamkos gives the Lightning a 1-0 lead.
Well, I was really surprised that Steven Stamkos did not shoot this initial shot. I know it wasn't in the wheelhouse, but he had a chance to direct it to the net, and it gets a fortunate bounce. And as our very own Brian Boucher asked for this line to step up, they do here early in Game 5.
Gourde's pass, knocked aside by Pajot. He couldn't leave the zone. Here's Yanni Gourde all alone. It deflects in off Andy Green.
We talk about the blue lines, getting the puck out at your blue line. This area here, this puck's got to get out. If you're the New York Islanders, Komarov's got it, he loses it. Pajot doesn't get it, and then Yanni Gourde tries to make the pass over to Barclay Goodrow, and as you mentioned, Brendan, goes right in off of Andy Green.
Zajac using the boards. Palat can't get it. It's Gourde the other way. Yanni Gourde has Goodrow. Went to shoot for the rebound for Goodrow, and Varlamov directed it aside.
As he had Kucherov wide open.
Yeah, I'm watching on the bench to see if...
Cirelli to the net, and Varlamov comes up with another stop. Here's another opportunity. It's Killorn delayed, and he was harassed from behind. It came back out. It drops into the net. Savard threw it back to the crease. Killorn helped it across the line. It is 3-0 Tampa.
This is all off the turnover right in front of the Islander bench. Palat not able to control the puck. Stamkos a good job to knock the puck down, and that leads transition the other way. Varlamov not able to hold on to it, and then it's a scramble by the net. Get it to the net. Killorn's there. The shot goes off of Killorn's backside and trickles in, but it all started with the careless play of Pulock by his bench.
A goalie change coming here for the Islanders. Sorokin coming in, Varlamov going out. Look at, not a lot of help for that guy right there. That's the 8th odd man situation in the first period. An incredible renaissance.
Islanders catching the Lightning in a change. It's Beauvillier with a shot. The rebound. Nelson couldn't finish it. His centering feed went into the skates of Josh Bailey. So the Lightning have gotten bounces on their goals, and they get a bounce to keep one out of the net here.
Oh, terrible change by the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Letty back off the bar, and another post, and another one. There might be plexiglass behind Andrei Vasilevskiy at this point.
Yeah, and then here's one of the last opportunities. Never gets to the net. Failed clear. Gets redirected on the way in. One post, two posts, and I think he may have gotten a pat on the outside of the net on that last one.
Came to Kucherov. Hedman. Stamkos scores! Second tonight for Stamkos. This one on the power play, and it's 4-0 Lightning.
Well, we were talking about the percentages of this lethal power play, these playoffs, and yeah, maybe they slowed down a tad, but the puck movement, no hesitation, and now Steven Stamkos has got a couple in this Game 5 perfectly in the wheelhouse from Victor Hedman, and he just airmails it on the short side of Sorokin.
How important is that first goal of the hockey game, Edzo, in building the confidence of a guy like Stamkos?
No hesitation, Bush.
None.
He waits. He still has it. Tried to go to the goal and shut down by Savard.
Another disappointing change there by Tampa. And then Clutterbuck with a hit from behind on Palat. I think he's going to go.
Arm is raised to Francis Chiron. We get the whistle as Clutterbuck confronted by Maroon.
Well, this is what the Islanders want. They want Tampa to engage. I mentioned a little earlier, Brendan, with Pulock and Coleman. Trying to change the momentum in the hockey game here. Palat takes a quick look, and then the hit from behind. I don't know if it's...
Kucherov looking for Stamkos, kicked out by Sorokin. 2-1 winners in Game 3, and they have scored for the 5th time.
Maybe redirected by Palat in front of the net. Face-off win. Savard with the shot, and the puck definitely changed direction. Savard did a nice job. This puck was rolling on him. He settles it down, he moves over, and then the quick shot, Andrei Palat with the hand-eye coordination. Sorokin looking to the stick side, and it just changes direction and goes right back to where he was.
Yeah, a difficult save for Sorokin, right? I mean, this is going to his blocker side.
Clutterbuck trying from an odd angle, and then Matt Martin and Schenn get into it right in front of the net. Gloves are off. Matt Martin and Luke Schenn. It doesn't last long.
Well, Martin went to the blue paint, and now Martin wants a piece of maroon. Well, Martin went to the blue paint, and there was some contact with Vasilevskiy. So it was the shot by Colton that pushed Martin into Schenn, and then Schenn into the goaltender. Now, Schenn doesn't know that. It was a domino effect. But clearly you saw the push by Colton right there, and then Schenn goes into Vasilevskiy. It wasn't that much.
Zekas tapped it away from Kucherov, but couldn't clear it.
Good retrieval there. Sorry, Brennan. Real good retrieval by Tampa.
They scored! Hedman shot deflects past Sorokin. It is 6-0 Lightning.
Killorn gets it. He's net front. We talked a lot about the second line, and good job by Hedman to get to the middle of the ice. Watch Killorn in front. There's the stick, the redirect off the bar and in. And that's where Killorn spends a lot of his time on this power play, is net front. He times it perfectly. The redirect, and Tampa continues to pour it on.
Push. We talk about puck retrieval, right? That's what I was just talking about when this all happened. Look at this. It's a loose puck, right? Who's going to get it? 3 guys on one side of the ice for Tampa. They move it around, and the puck ends up in the back of the net.
And Barzal didn't look. It's stolen away by Killorn. Checks the clock. Time winding down, and that will do it for period number 2.
Oh, Barzal with a big cross check right to the face of Jan Ruda. Right in front of me. He caught him right in the face. Oh, and things are... You can sense the frustration on the Islander bench. Here we'll get a look at it. It's the battle in front with Pajot and Ruda. And then eventually the puck clears. Ruda and Barzal with some words. And right there, that cross check right to the face. And Francis Chiron immediately came over and signaled out Barzal.
Tells us, is this the glove that gets him, or it is indeed the stick to the head of Jan Ruda?
We probably have to get another look at it. I thought initially it was a stick in front of me, but it happened so fast I could be.
Major penalty on the play. The play's under review.
So they're going to review, look at the replays, and make their decision on what the call is.
Still hard to tell off that one whether it's the right glove that really is the part that brings the most force.
Victor Hedman was standing right in front of the Islander bench for a period of time there while everything was going on, and having a word with anybody he could associated with the Islanders. Again, regardless of what the call is on the ice, the National Hockey League certainly watches all plays, whether they're penalized or not. And there could be further discipline if indeed deemed after seeing it. So the headset is off, and we got a cell-phone call here.
After reviewing the play, it's been confirmed that number 13 for New York gets a 5 game for cross-checking.
Killorn hands off to Kucherov. Killorn once again on the goal line. Looking and waiting. Finds a way to get it to Stamkos. Kucherov for Point. He scores! There it is! Brayden Point has scored in 8 straight playoff games, and it's 7-0 Lightning.
Well, good patience by Tampa Bay. They know they got a lot of time on the 5-minute major, and they're able to spread the Islanders out. Watch when this puck gets to the top to Stamkos. He's able to spread it out, get it to Kucherov, and Kucherov one-touches it right to Point, who recognizes this puck's coming right back to him. He gets into a shooting position.
Kucherov, Point again, Sorokin in a full split, able to keep it out. Alex Killorn has 2 goals and an assist. Steven Stamkos the same. There is goal number 8. Luke Schenn from out near the blue line, bounced one through.
That puck goes in off of Ryan Pulock in front of the net. Maroon gets the puck back to the point. Quick little bumper play. Watch in front of the net. The shot from Luke Schenn right off the right skate of Ryan Pulock. And Tampa has put up an 8th spot against the Islanders.
Komarov got a whack at the rebound. And then Cizikas took a shot there.
That was from Gourde.
And he's down. And this continues with Palat and Yanni Gourde. Palat steps on a stick and falls over. Matt Martin has Schenn. They fought earlier. And the linesman is trying to get Goudreau away from the grasp of Scott Mayfield.
Watch the left part of your screen right in front of the net. Yeah, there's the cross check. And that's what got everybody all excited.
Yeah, that's one when the score is what it is. I don't know that Goudreau needs to really do that, but you could see Martin right away to the defense of his line mate.
And the right response by the Islanders, 100%. Watch it in real speed. Certainly Goudreau knowing what he's doing there. Martin sees it, and then here comes Mayfield, and now all heck breaks loose.
And it looks like he's done it again. Behind 20 saves from Vasilevskiy and 8 goals from the offense. The Lightning win Game 5, and they are 1 win away from a return trip to the Stanley Cup Final.